Dr. Martin. Let's talk about Mary Michaelidos, shall we?
It revolves around these meetings, these secretive meetings that I never knew existed. I don't think most people know they exist. What goes on there?
Yeah, even in hospitals, I was fascinated. Most people don't know these meetings exist. I just assumed they did because I grew up with these meetings. They are truly a no-holds-barred, very candid, closed-door meeting, and it's designed to be a setting where people can say what they want, and it's not supposed to be punitive, but it can be really, really harsh sometimes. Just a little bit more dignified than a street fight, I've described it.
Did you do anything other than prescribe extra strength Tylenol?
In retrospect,
we also love to separate the conjoined twins, don't we?
How much of the show, obviously the book, now the show, revolves around real-life experiences that you, Sanjay Gupta, experienced yourself?
Quite a bit. I mean, I think most people, when they write this sort of stuff, it starts with some kernel of an idea. Either something that I saw, something that I experienced. I graduated medical school in 1993, so I've been doing this for about 20 years now, and you just have a lot of stories that you experience over the years.
Is there one storyline in the show that kind of touches you more than any other, about something you personally experienced, observed, watched?
Yeah, there was one storyline, and it was one of these things where I experienced this pretty early on in my residency, and I thought it was going to be one of those things that we never talked about again. It just became one of those things that we all went through together and no one really mentioned. So when I got to write this as a storyline for the book, I felt like it was a little bit of a catharsis. But really it revolves around a doctor who I think we all knew just wasn't a very good doctor. And it wasn't that he wasn't talented or even good technically with his hands. It was that he wasn't very nice and he was kind of reckless. And I just remember one time we were all in the room together, and these are some of my best friends, over life now. We're listening to this guy talk about a patient, and at some point it became obvious that it was just so bad, and that you couldn't help but imagine that he was talking about your own mother or a family member of yours, and it really made you angry, and it turned into one of those meetings where there was a purging, and I always remember that. It really stuck with me, and so it was something that came pretty easily for the book.
They should have prayed she got a better doctor.
Is he Dr. David Martin in the book?
Yeah, that's a representation of him.
And
it's just a funny side story. Dr. David Martin. David Martin is a guy who's actually a really good friend of mine.
I don't
He's
know
a
if he likes that,
producer
right?
at CNN, and he loves this sort of stuff. So as a little bit of a toss to him, I decided to name one of my most villainous characters.
He said, "Thank you for that,
Yes.
Sanjay."